Hey guys, happy Sunday. I'm a train wreck, so you're gonna have to bear with me while I try and do this. But um, I'm like super anxious and overwhelmed today. I just feel like everything that I keep trying to hold on to is slipping away, and um, that bothering trying to do anything is just a waste because nothing's gonna change and nobody cares. Um, I've felt that way for almost the entire 8 years we've been in this, but since I have so many new followers, I wanted to try and take a minute. I may have to stop this now and then to catch my breath, but I wanted to share our story so that people understood how we got in the position that we're in and why it's so bad. So in 2014, we were approaching higher tenure on active duty. And I thought it was luck that I guess what many would call a dream job fell into our lap. So leaving active duty status and the security and the safety and the comfort that we had known for 8 years didn't feel so scary. This job allowed us to do that and to get our debts paid off and to buy our first house. It's not a great house. It's not a dream house. It's a starter home. But, everything here in California is just expensive. So for us, it was a chance to just try and live a normal life, to let my son grow up and finish growing up and not have to move around so much. We had dreams of buying land and starting a large dog rescue, animal rescue, and growing food to give away to the communities, and to give back to our community and to help veterans. And we wanted that. There was no way that we could have known that life was going to turn upside down 4 months later. So in August of 2014, we closed on the house and got the keys and moved in. And the new job was started. And the job is a Department of Defense job, a contractor position. And it should have been almost impossible to lose. And we really didn't lose the job. It was taken because 4 months later, one morning, they informed us that there was no job anymore. They knew that we had just bought the house. They didn't give us any kind of warning that they were intending on doing what they did. Basically what happened, and they can deny it all they want, but it's true still today. They wanted to make this particular section of this defense job nothing but Filipinos. So anyone who wasn't actually was let go for a variety of different reasons. Ours was a BS reason. They lied. You do not need a security clearance to get a CAC card. But that's what they said. Never mind that for 8 years, there was a CAC card. And the job in the Navy didn't require a security clearance, so didn't need one at the time. So the job was gone, which put us at risk with the house. Before we were even behind, I was on the phone with the lender at the time, Senlar, trying to give them the heads up and figure out what we could do and put in place so that we didn't run into the risk of losing the home. That we were looking at taking my hobbies and making them full-time. That we were looking at trying to find organizations or groups that were existing that would help us until we could get a new job. And they made it sound like they were going to help us. But days and weeks turned into months. We played the we didn't get the paperwork game. Months turned into a year, then 2. And we ended up having to hire a group that was going to help us file a loan modification, which would stop the foreclosure and would try and help us get back on track. I've lost track of how many thousands of dollars we have spent trying to not be homeless. But the more aggressive that this company was that we had hired, the more the lender didn't want to work with us anymore. And so when we were deemed facially complete with the loan mod packet, and we were in the 30-day window for review, they sold the mortgage to our existing mortgage company, which reset the entire process. And yes, it did buy us time, but not in a good way. Because then we had to start all the way over. And the current company that we have, the lender, which I can't say because they have an order against me that does not allow me to talk about the court case that we had against them for an illegal foreclosure, the rules and the practices that they violated, breach of contract, all of that stuff that we dropped because they agreed to help us if we did drop it. They drug things out just like the first one. They had no intention of helping us, and they don't now. When this is all that we have, and because of the debt and the credit problems now that we have because of this, we do not have the ability to rent. We don't have the savings. We do not have the positive standing line of credit. We don't have the income to be able to afford a 2-bedroom in this area, which is close to where, it's 2 hours away, the base where the current job is. And then COVID hit. And I made it worse because I thought when the lender put us on the CARES Act that they were saving us. Instead, I took a $70,000 debt and I turned it into over $100,000. And none of them, neither the VA nor the lender, ever told us that because we had a VA loan, that we were not going to be allowed to roll those CARES Act payments into the end of the mortgage. So that was my fault, because I sunk us further than what we can carry in this chapter 13 unless we get help. To say this is urgent and critical is an understatement. But I don't want people to think that we have sat around waiting to be saved and done nothing but wanting people just to fix things for us, because we have been fighting. I have been fighting day and night so much that I'm not taking care of myself. I'm stressed out, not sleeping. This is no way to live. And yet the alternative, with my health issues and my deteriorating health, being homeless would be a death sentence. I feel like I have failed us because We need the second income. And my anxiety and my depression and my health issues have made it so I barely can make anything to try and sell. I feel like it's my fault. That somehow I'm not saying the right things, or I'm not wording things right, that people will want to help. I do want to thank Vets for Success for their continued attempt to try and help us. They're a 501c3 that I keep sharing their calls for help for other veterans. They strictly do veterans, and they're currently trying. And I want to thank the Patriot Iron Company, because you guys have been amazing. We're out of options and we're running out of time. We literally need help paying the mortgage every month in this plan that we have with the bankruptcy. And if I don't create $3,000 to $3,500 in income by October 12th, this is all over anyway. And I thought I could do it. I really did. But I think 90% of me has given up. I think because we don't seem to matter. That we aren't valuable enough to this country. That the media won't even tell our story so that maybe somebody somewhere can hear it and understands and actually is in a position to help. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. And we have no other options. It is fight to keep our house. Or I'm not sure I even want to be in this world, having failed my family and having put faith in things that just don't exist for us. COVID has made so many other families, veteran families, now endure the same thing that we have for the last almost 8 years. We need local and state and federal organization to create programs and actual viable resources so that when veteran homeowners fall into underwater status because they have losses or health issues or lose a job, they're not facing the same thing that we are. And if not, at the very least, there should be programs to help pay for the legal representation to fight so that we're not stuck choosing between utilities and groceries and legal fees to try and stop the foreclosure. 8 years we've been fighting on our own. We've done everything asked of us. We have done everything possible to try and save ourselves, and there just is nothing. We can't do it without help. So that pretty much is our story in a nutshell. And unless we somehow find a miracle somewhere and we get help that we need, we're in serious trouble. And there's no walking away still, because we will lose the little that we have, and there is no option. We make not enough money by the lender's standards to justify them moving around the payments or offering us any other solutions. So the bankruptcy is the only option. But they intentionally dragged things out for so long that they knew that when we put it into the Chapter 13, that without more income, that it's not going to work. And we make too much money to qualify for any of the low-income programs. So the idea that veterans can go on to Section 8 housing when they're working full-time jobs and make too much money, but are so far behind that it's not enough money, is just crazy. We're stuck in a horrible cycle that we can't break ourselves. So even if all you can do is just share posts and tweets and share stories of veterans that you see in groups asking for help, it matters. And it very well could get shared to someone who is in a position to help them, to help us. Hopefully that made sense. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. We just don't have a choice. So I'm gonna, I've got some more crayon stuff I've got to make, and I've got some jewelry that I'm gonna get ready to do for a giveaway or a raffle, and I'm tired, so I think I'm gonna need a nap at some point. So I'm gonna add this to our GoFundMe, and I'm gonna post this on my social media, and I'm sorry if it's long, but I don't want people to think that we're just more people begging for help that aren't trying to help themselves, because my God, I have the call logs and the emails and the text messages showing that every single day for almost 8 years I've tried. I just can't get people to care. We just don't all matter. Be good to each other, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. And thank you again to everyone who checks in on me and who messages me and actually cares. I wished I would have met you guys like in the very beginning, because it would have been easier to go through this. The veterans and veteran supporters and patriots that I've met since I joined TikTok have just been absolutely amazing. I love you guys to death. You're such a big part of my family. You just have no idea, and one day I hope I can hug you guys, because I really could use one. So I'm gonna stop this now, I guess. Please be good to each other.